Okay, so I briefly mentioned food sensitivity. So lunchtime, have one of these aesthetic bowls that Jessie brought for us, and voila. And this is more during prep, just like a mix of teas. So there's what this is. So under here is my skin graft from the melanoma. My name's Miss Kristina. I like fitness, I like fashion, and I like my life. Welcome to my mayhem. Okay, so I briefly mentioned food sensitivity. Okay, so I briefly mentioned food sensitivity, and it's a, oh my gosh. So I briefly mentioned food sensitivity, and it's a topic that I think is really important for competitors to grasp, because a lot of old school, we call it bro science, coaches that are pretty much non-existent anymore. However, there's still some old theories floating around, was that if you eat clean, your body will love you for it and everything will be on track and you'll find it easier to lose weight. Now, what's clean for one person will differ for another. So for example, with my endometriosis, something that's really common in females with the disease is that we are sensitive to random food types. So once I started coaching with my current coach, Alicia Gowans, we did a food sensitivity test. And I noticed that I was sensitive to a whole variety of fruits. I was sensitive to fish. I was sensitive to avocados. So a lot of the stone fruit varieties, like I can't have peaches, pears, nectarines, even grapes, which were my favorite fruit in the entire world, I'm sensitive to. And these are just random on the spectrum. Little things like gluten, I knew when I had a bet that I was sensitive to gluten, but for me in particular, it's wheat. So it's easy just to cut out all gluten, but I am very sensitive to wheat. If I eat normal pasta with gluten in it, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for days, TMI, but we're all about sharing here. That's some things that I myself need to avoid. Now, if you think about your traditional clean foods, right? A lot of coaches give their clients avocado. My old coaches give me avocado. I talked about eggs as well. So egg yolk, I'm highly sensitive to. And so coaches would have me on hard-boiled eggs or whole eggs, and that wouldn't work for me. Fish, so when coaches gave me white fish, it would always make me feel yucky and I didn't really enjoy it, but it wasn't until doing the sensitivity test that was sensitive for me. And it's actually foods that you're sensitive to are inflammatory for you, so they actually hinder your ability to drop weight. They encourage you to hold water. Your body is seeing them as an issue. It's inflaming in response to them, so they're not going to actually be the most optimal for you to eat during a prep. So once I realized this and all of my sensitivities, a lot of those traditionally clean foods are not actually clean for me. My body doesn't like them. And so it's swapping out and finding the foods that are supportive for you and your digestion and your body, and doing a food sensitivity test. So not necessarily an allergy test, which is more of a blood test, or they do the food allergy, the pinpoint test to see in your skin which has an allergic reaction. This was just one of those tests you can do online. They get a hair sample, they send it to a lab, and you get a full 5-page report of all food types, minerals, vitamins. They look at your gut microbiome, and it just shows you red is you're sensitive to the foods, orange is they're okay, and green is they're good to go. And so I highly encourage anyone who is a competitor to actually do those tests and to do them regularly. So when you're in prep, you often will just revert to eating the same foods towards the end. It's easier, and then you're controlling your variables more effectively, and you're looking to optimize your food sources. So for me, I choose to do those sensitivity tests every few years just to see if my sensitivities has changed due to me eating the same foods and I've created some sensitivities in prep, or maybe because I've been eating more variety in my off season, some sensitivities no longer exist for me. So these things, if you're finding you're bloating or you're having issues in prep, this is a really good one to look into, because it's not just what calories are you on and let's just reduce your calories and I'll give you macros and you can eat whatever. It's really important to optimize the food sources for your physique to ensure that you can get the best outcomes and you can drop the most effectively. So it's one that's overlooked quite often and not given enough value, I think, in the industry because yeah, as I said, clean is not clean for everybody, so highly recommend you look into food sensitivity tests, especially if you're thinking about being a competitive bodybuilder or fitness model. But on that note, I have to go do my groceries and get more egg whites. I have to get green beans, zucchini, more capsicum. I feel like it's all just vegetables at the moment that I'm running out of. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be right back, and then I'm gonna show you what my lunchtime meal looks like. So stay tuned. I have one of these aesthetic bowls that Jessie brought for us. Maxwell Williams. It just makes it look like there's more food. He thinks I sound silly, but like a wider set bowl makes it look bigger. But I don't know, just I feel like I'm eating more food when I use these bowls. This is probably one of my favorite meals. My lunch. We do 100 grams of chicken. I'm just gonna step while I'm doing this because hence the dance interlude. $98 grams. Let me tell you, I'm just like pro weigher. Anyway. And do 100 grams of chicken, but I don't do that first. I'm gonna do that first because YOLO. We then do about 70 grams of each of the capsicum, just like a little bit of zucchinis, and then garlic, some lemon juice, and then 20 grams of thick coconut aminos. You just like saute it all, a bit salt and pepper. It's very delicious. I don't weigh my garlic, and I use a lot of garlic for the flavor. Here we go. Lemon juice. And the other thing I add to my veggies, which I do weigh, is oil. Extra virgin olive oil, or my preference is actually MCT coconut oil. Coconut oil has a higher burning point, so I find when you actually use it in prep, the oil taste stays and it kind of coats everything, whereas olive oil I find just evaporates in the pan. So that's my personal preference, is the MCT oils. All of those other benefits, yada yada yada, I just use it because I find it actually stays on my food better. And voila. It's pretty tasty. The other thing I have a lot of during prep is tea. So I have Earl Grey tea, peppermint tea, blood orange, strawberry and raspberry, caramelized white chocolate, low sugar caramel latte, mocha as well, low sugar. And this is more during prep, just like a mix of teas. So there's elderberry and enchinacea, this thing, enchinacea.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
I do have it right now. Oh my God, I just broke my cup. I'm so dangerous. If I'm really needing it, Adrenal Switch, which is like a magnesium support formula. This is cookies and cream flavor. They have really good flavors and they're pretty much all, so 12 calories per serve. But these are really good to wind down at night and like that little sweet treat. But teas get me through the day, hot drinks get me through the day. But yeah, that also helps in between meals to offset and curb some of those hunger cues. And final little bit for you all, if you're wondering what this is. So under here is my skin graft from the melanoma. And so my occupational therapist that I see has me doing quite a few treatments. The graft is the wrong color. Yay! It's the gift that keeps on giving. So they're just monitoring it really closely this month. And so we're doing things like silicone patches, which is what this is, Stratoderm, which is like a silicone gel. What else are we doing? Vitamin E cream. I have to massage it 3 times a day for 5 minutes each time, so 15 minutes a day. I have to apply sunscreen to it morning and midday because I'm not allowed to get in the sun. So there's a lot of stuff I'm going through to try and make the scar integrate a little bit better. So it's just a non-stop fun ride of my life. I think it's okay. I honestly don't think I want to. They gave me a few options. They said you can take it out and start all over again. We can slowly remove it, or you can leave it there and hopefully it kind of integrates a little bit. So I'm opting for the last option, which is why I'm being really careful with it at the moment. But if you want to see it, that is it. So you can see in the mid there, it's the wrong color. It's quite dark. And then you can see down the bottom where it reopened, and I had to get it stitched up, and it got infected and all of that fun that I dealt with over Easter. So yeah, hoping it integrates, hoping it kind of slowly changes colour. But, you know, I'm very lucky that I'm cancer-free and I'm here today. So just doing the best I can, but that's what that is, in case you're wondering. No, I haven't provided many updates on it. But if you want, I'm more than happy to do a full vlog on my experience with melanoma. So comment below if that's something you'd like to see, because I don't think it's spoken about enough. And I think awareness and early intervention is incredibly important and saves lives. And it saved my life. So, yeah. And can